Hello, I'm Zorab and this is Byther Farm and this is Huw.
I'm here. It's a bit surreal actually.
Welcome.
Thank you, yeah. It was strange just coming through the gate and after seeing all your videos to just be finally here. So thanks for the invite.
You're very, very welcome. So Huw has an amazing gardening channel called HuwsNursery, and if you're not familiar with his channel, why not? But if you're not, I'll leave a link up there. And so I've invited Huw down, and we've tried to arrange this a couple of times. I couldn't do it, you couldn't do it, but we've finally got our act together, and it's been great. Huw's had a look around, he's done a bit of filming, and then later on today we're heading out for a day trip, aren't we?
Because why not? It's a beautiful day as well, so
it is. So Huw, could you like to tell everybody about your channel?
Yeah, so I started my channel when I was 12. I was really bored basically, and it was summer holidays, and when you live far away from any of your friends, there's nothing really you can do. So I thought I'd go out into the garden because I grew up with it, and since then I've probably made about 350 videos just teaching people how they can grow their own food at home organically. And since then, yeah, just past 90,000 subscribers.
Amazing.
And turning 20 in January, but I've decided to not go to uni and to pursue the joys of being out in the garden.
Brilliant, brilliant. And Huw was telling me earlier on that he took a permaculture design certificate. When did you take that?
I did that November of last year.
Brilliant. And who was that with?
That was with Irania. And yeah, it was just really good. And what amazed me about the permaculture design course is that it teaches you all about the principles of permaculture and how you can use thinking and observation to make your garden just be a lot more efficient. But the thing about using things like swales and berms is that you just learning how nutrients and water moves through the garden and how you can minimize the amount of effort you need to put in, and then hopefully at the end of the day you're growing better produce.
Yeah. So I was talking to Huw about in the duck area where we've got a pond at the moment that we made. I spent the last year or so watching how the water flows down the land, and we've now started making a hump, which is called a burn, but basically a hump on the ground, and we're just dumping lots and lots of weeds there, things that we're happy to rot down, and we'll then dig out a pond, put it up on the hump, so as the water comes down the hill, it's a very gentle slope, it'll land in the pond, and then we're going to be able to grow things on that raised bit, on the burn. We're going to put in fruit trees and fruit bushes, and just hope that ducks don't have an all-you-can-eat buffet every single day.
So one of the basic things that you first learn about permaculture is the idea of observing. So you've had the pond for about 1.5 years.
Yeah.
And in that time it's given you a perfect opportunity to look at how water systems flow. And I think one of the bright sides, the benefits of having this extreme weathers of winds, storms and then droughts, is you get a much better sense about how your area, how your zones cope with the different kind of extreme weathers.
Yeah.
And then with that, through design, you can design a system which then works in favour of these extreme elements, which means that you then build a resilience to it. And it's that idea of building resilience which is going to help you for the long term. So it's really spending a bit of time and being patient to observe things, but then you have a much better understanding, so you're far less likely to end up 2 or 3 years down the road after maybe doing a lot of earthworks and thinking, this isn't in the optimal place.
Yeah, much better to watch first and then do all that work only once. Should we go and see what they're talking about?
Yeah.
What's the meltdown for? Hey? Both Huw and I grow all our food in raised beds, and there's a really good reason for that, isn't there?
Yeah, we basically don't have a very good depth of topsoil. Mine is probably about that deep.
Yeah.
And when you see people like Tony from UK Here We Grow with a very, I'm just so envious.
Mummy, it was
because when he was planting your white currants,
yeah,
it was just amazing. And that's why we have to do raised beds, because we've got to build an actual soil level if there isn't one there.
So the farmer is out cutting the fields again. So you have to just excuse the noise that appears every now and then, but I'm really pleased that he's being able to get another cutting of that grass. So when we moved here and I started trying to dig down into the ground, well, I broke a spade or two trying to get down, and we've got a very thin layer of clay followed by quite a lot of what is effectively just a beach with a vast number of stones and pebbles in it. So the water pools on the top of the clay, but when it does get through, it then drains away really quickly. And to be able to grow all the food that I want to grow, the best thing to do was to put it in raised beds, which is what you've done. What do you fill your raised beds with?
Well, we get a almost endless supply of molehills. So we think, hey, we don't have to dig up any of the soil. So the molehills do all of the hard work for us, because it's just such a pain trying to get any of it. So you know, there are some stones in it. It's not going to be perfect, it never is, but we'll do a load of soil, and then we'll put on a load of compost. And we used to have cows, but because of things like TB testing, it just didn't make sense for a family to keep 2 or 3 cows. So we decided, unfortunately, it isn't as easy for us to get something to fill our raised beds, but fortunately we do know some farmers around us, so we can get some cow manure and do it that way. But if you see some of my videos, you'll see that quite a few of our raised beds do have a lot of stones in them, but that really doesn't affect the growing. It's maybe if you have a massive brick or something in it. So don't worry about having this perfect looking soil, because plants really aren't that fussed. Well, you know what I do? Sometimes the field next door, which isn't ours, suddenly has about 100 or 200 molehills. So I'll just casually take the wheelbarrow over, fill it up, walk back. Oh, look, Dad, I found some soil.
Huw has really kindly offered to move as many wood chips as I would like. I think that was a bit of a rash offer, but he's going to bring them and dump them in the area behind me here. So as I create more of the food forest going further back there, I've got the wood chips just here ready to use.
Round 1.
What more could you want? So while Huw is here, I'm also going to ask him to harvest a couple of the squashes.
Not bad, Liz. Pretty good.
Well, that's it for me today. Huw and I are heading out for our day trip, and so wherever you are in the world and whatever you've got planned for today, I hope it's a good one, and I also hope you'll join me again tomorrow.
See ya.
Bye.
Take 12.